All right, guys. I had an okay day today. I only got to about 50% of my profit target, a little bit over that, but I just didn't trade much last week. I didn't trade on Friday, for example, so it's been over 3 days. I felt a little off kilter today, so I took my green day and called it. It wasn't a super clean day for me, but I did have one really nice trade on CCL off the bat, and then my other trades are just okay. But my watch list was ADT, CCL, NIO, and Microsoft. I didn't really love the watch list today. And I ended up trading every stock on here, which usually for me is not necessarily a good sign. But let's jump right into my first and best trade of the day, which is all of this right here. So CCL started weak, you'll see that here. And it dropped below VWAP, all these moving averages, kind of formed a small descending triangle on the 1-minute chart, on top of the fact that I had, these levels as potential support. Resistance. And my stop out was going to be if it broke through VWAP, I was going to get out of this thing. So I took it short here on a 5-minute orb opening range breakdown, as well as playing that descending triangle on the 1-minute chart. I started partialing out around this 1310 level because this is an important pre-market low. This is pre-market low. So I partialed out there, partialed out again as we got near 13, and then once we broke through 13, I got another partial. Right, so that's right here. And then it came back up on me and started curling back down. And the bearish volume was bigger than the bulls. So I thought it was still weak. And for that reason, I went ahead and doubled my small position. At this point, I only had a small position left. So I doubled it, partialed the ad back out at that point. So I made a nice little profit. And at this point, I'm sitting at the same share size I was before this ad. And it was still hanging out down here by 13. So I kind of thought, okay, we are going to break through this. And so I added to my position again. This second ad did not work out. I got out at break even right here. So overall, really nice trade for me. Really like my execution and the partialing. Had 2 ads, 1 successful, 1 not. And best trade of the day for me by far. And I traded again on CCL. So you'll see this was... all this was 1 trade. So then I take it short again. You'll see it goes up to VWAP, kind of goes to this other level that I had marked from pre-market movement, and then starts curling back down. I took it short again when it broke through that pre-market low. Got 1 partial out here near 13, just right at 13, and then out at break even. And then that was my day on CCL there. Let's see. My next trade was on NIO here, and, nothing too special here. This is, that was my best trade of the day, as I said, but let's zoom in here and see what's going on. So NIO had a really nice ABCD pattern right here. So we got A, B, C, all right, that's a C, just trust me. And D, right? And D became the part of another ABCD pattern where you go A, right? And then you go B, C, and then you could even say that's D right there. So it was trading well. So NIO looked pretty nice here. I took it just above this $13 mark right there. Got a couple partials out, it stutter stepped, and then out at break even. And then it still looks strong to me, and it was also forming an ascending triangle here on the 1-minute chart. So I took it long again, but the ascending triangle play was a momentum play. That should happen pretty quick. It stagnated here, and I got out. I was not interested in waiting around. And then it did go down to 13. So if you were hanging out watching, you could have got a really nice entry here at 13 on this pretty textbook ABCD pattern, and then you would have been able to take that move. But I was playing the triangle more, and it just didn't happen quick enough for me. Microsoft, not much to say here other than I'm not good at trading stocks over $100. So I took half share size on this and still just didn't manage it that well. So this was a losing trade for me, and I think it's pretty rare you're going to see me trading stocks over $100. Last trade here on ADT. So ADT kind of popped up pretty quick, got back to VWAP, and this is kind of a VWAP breakout trade of sorts. So it got back to VWAP on strong bullish volume, then still continued that volume past this 200 MA. And so I was pretty interested in it. It fell back down and I wanted to get it closer to 15, but the stock kind of moved quickly. But I got it here and got a couple partials out and then out at break even. So this trade happened really quick. I took half share size because for me, this is kind of a chase. Not really, but it's just not, I'm not as comfortable with that situation. So half share size here. This was a nice winner, but it is strange for me to take a long right after a shooting star like that. But it worked out and that was my day. Hope you guys were green and hopefully the rest of the week brings a little bit cleaner trading for me and a much better watch list.